Hello everybody and welcome back to Sweet and Sour Soccer. And Everton fans, you seem to enjoy the last video I did on Vinagre from a Wolves fan perspective. So I thought I'd come back again and give you a perspective on this man on screen, Conor COADY, as it's been revealed today that he's now completed his medical and looks set to join Everton on a season-long loan with an option to buy. I mean, this is a very confusing one, how it's all come about. I mean, from a Wolves fan's perspective, there's a lot for me to digest about whether this is a good move or not. Not just because of the on-field impact, but the off-field as well. And I'll go into that on today's video and talk about why it's such a massive thing for Everton, especially considering what I feel Everton have been missing over the past couple of years. But guys, please do me a massive favour before I jump into the video. Hit that like button and please do subscribe to the channel as well. And let me jump straight into speaking about Mr. Conor COADY, who made 317 appearances for Wolves across a 7-year span. He really has been a loyal servant. But with Wolves switching to a back four, it looked like he was out of favour with Bruno Lage, which has meant that he's been given the opportunity to go out on loan this season and will possibly continue his career thereafter at Everton. Now, what's interesting is obviously Everton started the season with a back five. We saw that against Chelsea, and it was only a narrow 1-0 defeat. Of course, Everton, you guys are adding some more signings as well as Conor COADY. We saw Onana in the stand as well. So some much needed additions coming in. But I think Conor COADY is perfect when you're looking at a back five setup. He found himself really, but formerly he was a centre midfielder, joining us from Huddersfield when he actually played in centre mid. To be honest, didn't look too convincing in centre mid. I must have to say, I think he was probably at a championship level as a centre midfielder. But it was under Nuno Espirito Santo who actually saw an opportunity in his back five system to use him as a centre-back and as a sweeper role. And in that sweeper role, he's really found himself and come out and progressed more and more as a footballer. What's really interesting as well is you look at what Everton have got on the wings. You say Everton have got pace. They've also got two fullbacks, Patterson and Milenko, who look like they might be wanting to overlap, especially in this back five system. And Conor COADY is the perfect player for that, to have him basically just spreading balls from the back. Brilliant diagonal passes. He very rarely plays a bad pass from that back five. Good at getting the ball moving fast, spraying out long diagonal passes, unlocking obviously the wingers, but also the overlapping wing backs as well. So you really do feel this will tie in well to Frank Lampard's system. Now, what's interesting as well is I think this really does point to the fact that Everton's back five setup is set to stay. The main reason that he's been available for a loan transfer and obviously a possible permanent transfer is the fact that Wolves have committed to switching to a back four. Now, Conor COADY, he's a good player in the back five. He's defensively good enough, but there are some defensive frailties that really have been shown before when Wolves have tried to play a back four. And with that obviously happening now, it does look like he has become surplus to requirements. Conor COADY himself also wanting to obviously get in the World Cup team this year. I feel this is a move which makes sense for him. If he was going to be someone that was warming the bench at Wolves, then going to Everton where he's going to be a starter in a system he knows well of, a back five system, a system where he's really excelled at as a footballer. It makes perfect sense for Conor COADY to join Everton, and I think it will work really well. Now, the one thing that I would say is really beneficial as well is not just the fact that Conor COADY is obviously in this back five system, because for me, the one thing I've been watching with Everton over the past couple of years, it's a really missing a real leader. You know, you felt when things were getting tough, obviously last season, you needed someone to grab the players by the scruff of the necks to get them going, someone that was going to lead the players, not just off the pitch in terms of a manager, but also on the pitch as well. And this is where Conor COADY will be such a valued addition, because it's really not just about what he's like as a player on the field. Of course, he's a great captain. He's a great leader. He will bring that to obviously Everton Football Club. But it's also about him as a person, him as a character. And people underestimate that at times. People don't really think about how much a character can add to a squad morale, how much it can boost a team. And I think that's where, from a Wolves fan perspective, I am worried, because in every kind of video they did on YouTube, every kind of little insight we got from, obviously, you know, what it was like on a day-to-day life at Wolves, it was always Conor COADY that was the leader, the captain. He'd be engaging with all the backroom staff. He'd be making all the players laugh. He'd be bringing them all together. And of course, whenever a new signing came in, he would always give them a really welcomed reception and just really make them feel welcome and bring them into that team. Of course, that can be really important, especially, you know, when you look back to what happened with Everton last season. I honestly do feel if they had someone at the time like Conor COADY, he would have come in, maybe uplifted them, boosted that morale, got the whole team playing together. It would have been a very valuable asset. Now, thankfully, you guys did escape relegation. And I'm sure, you know, with these signings we're seeing coming in, Onana, COADY, there's going to be a real push now. There's going to be, let's not make this a second season in a row thing. Let's try and get up that pitch, start scoring some goals and start climbing up the table. Because I've always said with Everton, when I look from an outside perspective, there's no doubt that there's work that needs doing. But you look at the players and you just think, how are they? How were they that low down in the table last season? I don't think that happens with a player like Conor COADY. And I think he's probably been brought in as much for his leadership abilities, as much for his team morale abilities, as he's actually been brought in for his footballing abilities. Now, one more point I would say about that is he got brought in by Gareth Southgate for, obviously, something that we all remember well, the Euros. Now, he didn't play a single minute, but he was actually one of the backroom staff said he was the most valuable member of the team. And once again, that's just more testament to what I'm saying. It's not just about what he will do on the pitch. He'll really uplift the whole club. And I think for that reason, Everton fans, I'd be really excited, especially in this back five system. I think this is an incredible signing. I've seen the option to buy. I can't believe it's so low. I really can't believe it's so low. And the fact that it's a loan with an option to buy, my God, you guys have really struck a good deal here. Hopefully, I've made you a bit excited about him. Make sure you take care of him. And guys, we are a general football channel. I am not a Wolves channel. If you guys go look back through our videos, me and James, we do regular football content about all clubs. So please do think, if you've enjoyed the video, think about liking, think about subscribing, and hopefully I'll catch you on another video. Take care and goodbye.